Who's doing the intro? I feel
You're
like
recording.
Are you doing the intro?
I felt like Chrono
Chrono
should do it
does,
because he
mostly.
always does it.
Yeah,
The intro.
yeah.
I didn't practice.
You never practice,
You
okay?
practice the
Do
other
your
time?
I do actually.
Okay, do your best.
We'll support you anyways. Hopefully.
Yeah. Just
Hey
go
guys.
ahead.
Fucking DB. Hey guys.
Again, sorry. Okay, I'm
Hey,
gonna
guys.
keep. I'm gonna
You
shut up.
son of a bitch.
Okay. Shh.
Hold on.
Okay, now you're not talking.
Wow.
This is so funny.
Alright, all of you shut up. Hang on.
Oh, that's toxic.
Hey guys, Chrono here.
That's close enough, right?
Yeah.
You should have kept going.
I didn't know what the rest of your spiel is on the elements.
Well, that's all you need to know.
That's basically Chrono's.
Yeah, I said, hey guys, Chrono here
That
the first time.
works.
She comes running over like, give me your headset. Okay.
It works.
Hey guys, Chrono here. We've got a couple topics that we're going to get into today. The first of which is talking about the moderator situation that happened like a couple of days ago. There's a big conversation that happened around that. Doesn't feel like it got fully resolved, so we're going to do that today. And then we've got a couple things after that that are new things in the Warmerise community. So the new updates, 2.6.0, the new assists counter thing on the scoreboard, as well as we tested some of the censorship things in the chat filter. So we're going to talk about that for a little bit, but first of all, first and foremost, we're going to get into the moderator things, because originally DB posted a video. It was very widely shared. Star made a response video. I made a response video. DB liked my critique of his argument so much that he made a response video to me. And so we decided that it would probably be easier, instead of making videos back and forth for a couple of weeks, just to like have a podcast and just like talk it out. And so we brought everybody. The whole crew is here. So DB, Fairy, Star, Vivek, all of you say hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
We
Close
have
enough.
one
Fairy?
person missing. What?
I might even pick up me saying hi.
Aw.
So yeah, we've got everybody here. So before, I think DB and I are probably going to have a dialogue just between the two of us for a few minutes. So Sperry and Vivek, you guys haven't really chimed in that much on what's going on with the moderators. Do you guys want to say anything before, like, what your thoughts are?
No. I'm just kidding.
Hey, Fairy told me she would in the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Fairy can go first.
Why did you remember that?
You're welcome.
Wow, okay. I see. You're against me.
No.
What's my opinion on it? I don't really see I don't see it necessary to have moderators. Maybe at least one, just to keep it in check. But like, as Mike said, he has the weird algorithm thing that checks things when he's away, and he's only been away a couple of times, and it's fair that he needs to be away. But in all honesty, he does fine by himself, considering. And moderators isn't that important of an issue. Maybe to check up on members who just are idiots, but other than that, it's not really needed much.
Ooh, can I add something to what I said in my video?
Sure.
Yeah.
I feel like adding moderators would also, other than helping control the community and point out bugs and stuff, it would also what was I gonna say? Oh no.
Increase activity.
Oh, it set an example for how players are supposed to act or should
Yeah.
act. Like no arguing and all that.
Okay, so
I mean- Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. My take is actually similar to Fairy's. I don't see a need for moderators as much as like before, because when we had moderators before, like in 2015, 2016, there were forums that were like basically attacking each other. There was like a whole Appster forum, or like I forget, it was Appster, I think, and there was a person just attacking him like constantly, and So we haven't seen that in a while, and I don't think it has like occurred recently. So I feel like everyone's like pretty well behaved so far, and I don't feel like moderators would change anything or have much to do. So yeah, that's my take.
So,
I think
mean, did
I
you
did.
did at any point you said that moderators were, more promoting all these, chaos or fights? Like, I didn't quite heard you properly
I
there.
didn't say they were promoting it. I was just saying that like they were needed before because there were like more people and more like toxic people that were posting and like trying to attack other people. But now I haven't been seeing that as much or at all.
But
So yeah,
don't you think that stopping fights is not the only reason why one farm has moderators? Because they have,
I feel like that's the
plenty of
main reason.
other. Well, that's the part I would disagree, because I don't think that moderators are to stop fights. I also don't think that moderators at this point. I don't think moderators are to even moderate the farms. I think they're just because, like I said in the video, moderators, as far as I know, and Chrono knows even better because he was a moderator. He knows all the things that he could do, and from what I know, they couldn't do much. All the authority they had were just confined on the forums. They just had a few more authorities, like maybe deleting the clan or seeing, the, just a little more information than regular member can. Like they can message anyone or even message person who's blocked or something. So they had very limited authorities. So I wouldn't say that it was their authority that made them, significant. I think that it was their status, that there is other people other than Max that people can reach up to. Now, the only reason I think, because Ferry said that I don't think they're needed, I think they're not needed because there's a lot of people who contributes towards in helping the community or doing stuff that a moderator should do, that I think Max or the community doesn't even need moderators. But then again, my point was that all these people are doing this as a courtesy at this point. Cannot expect everyone to continue doing this courtesy for too long. I used to, I think Perry was there too in the old forums. I remember Vivek or Star before. I remember Chrono there too. We used to post a lot, not on the off topic, but in general or more in the bugs or suggestions. And my, my, I wanted to, outrun kind of gods, because he was really quick in posting and replying, and I wanted to beat him on that because it was fun doing that. And I kept doing that. I had like almost 1,000 posts, and like 2 of them were just from the farm topics. I did that for like 2 to 3 years maybe, and then when I got into university and other stuff, I stopped doing that because that was the point. I couldn't get time for it. So that's the thing I was pointing out, that there are people who contributes in the community, but they won't continue contributing to the community when they have something better to do. So that's why I think that the moderators are needed, because they have to do all these things regardlessly. So that's my take on what Ferry said and what Vivek said.
Is there
And
anyone? Is there anyone
yeah,
in the
go
game
ahead.
right now who you would promote to being a moderator? Because if you're about to say me, I don't contribute to the forums that much. I don't think anybody contributes to the forums enough to be listed as a moderator right now.
Yeah, I think at this moment, this is what I wanted to point out before, and this is one of the main one of my main point that I'm like still failing to send convey my message across properly, because people doesn't seem to understand what I'm about what I mean to say. Because what I think is that the after Warmerise reopened, the Warmerise performed really bad. Most people say that it's because of the members, and I think you also said that too, because there's like, or I don't remember who else exactly said that there are less members now than there were before. That's why the farms are performing badly, which is true. There are less people right now than there were before. But if you take a ratio, when Warmerise closed last time, there was like a ratio. We had over 150,000 people, and now we had over 100,000. I'm not excluding the boss because we didn't exclude them in the previous one too.
Right.
So that becomes a ratio of what? Like it's not double, right? It's not even double. The members we right now is not like half of the members we had before. We had more than half of the members. Then why is it so that when I look at the analytics and all the stats, the forums performed 3 times badly than before? So if you see the ratio there, it's somewhat suggests that the members count does have something to do in it. But if you look at the ratio, you would get a hint that there is something more than the members count that influenced the
Mhm.
performance of the farms, which is what I think is the only difference that have been created after Warmerise reopened, is that we didn't had any moderators. And like I said, the Warmerise reopened with WebGL. It had so many bugs. Even to this point, it still can't match the performance of the Unity web player. There's a lot of a lot of bugs and issues, and there should have been more posts in the bugs and suggestion. And there were a lot of posts on the bugs and suggestion. And if you go look every single page, there's like you'll find 2 3 posts that were eligible posts that needed answer from Max or moderator or needed some attention, but they were left completely unreplied. So at this point, I don't agree with anyone if anyone says that we don't need moderators, because those posts needed some attention from moderator or Max. But like I said, Max is the only moderator, so it put all these things on his hands that he should reply to those posts, but he didn't. That's why I'm saying if you cannot reply on those posts, then you should rather appoint moderators. And to the point that you said that Max, even when he was in the hospital, he was still moderating the forums. I wouldn't say it was that him who was moderating, because I do remember there were some spam posts that got removed, if that's what you were pointing out. And I think we have our answer, that it was not Max, it was just the algorithms that were monitoring the forms. But you can never compare the performance, what a human as a moderator can do to the algorithms, because they can remove spams or do some censorship stuff, but they can never properly moderate the forms. They cannot stop a fight. They cannot give eligible replies to the posts that are required a reply from any staff member. So I don't think that algorithms fall in any comparison with a human moderator.
Mhm.
So that's my take there.
I agree mostly. My only thing is that if you have a bug report on the forums, what's a moderator going to do? Like, they might be able to say, yeah, that's a known bug, we're aware of it, don't post this again. They might be able to say, oh, you might be able to fix that by clearing your cookies, if not, best of luck. But really, the only one who's able to properly address bugs on the forums is Max. Moderators can't do that, even if they have a little moderator sticker next to their name. It's a nice status to have. It might make people take you more seriously. People like Paco who don't listen to you at all. But I don't think that it's going to solve the problems on the bugs and suggestions forums. I think that's something that Max has to address specifically. He has to be responding to more posts.
Yeah, I I do agree with that, because moderators are not game developers. They cannot do anything in the game. They can just suggest some solutions, because they have been watching all the posts. Because I know I've been watching all these posts, and I kind of I got kind of, I wouldn't say expert, but I had some information about the things, and I could sometimes even suggest a fix that possibly worked. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it actually worked. So but right now, if someone posts something, I won't be able to, because I haven't been paying attention on the forums post, or I don't know much information from at this point of time. So, but a moderator, in my opinion, in this case, it's his responsibility to keep a track, to know, because one of the job of the moderator was to, if there is a new topic that has already been created before, that the issue has already been resolved before, then his job is that he have that in his memory, and he would just recall that this topic already exists. Just go there, try the fixes that the person performed, because Max or the moderator will lock the topic, or maybe not the lock topic, after the issue has been solved. So if there is a solved issue, he knows that this issue was solved, and he would just recall or link that thread to the person, and most of the time it worked. Right now, because I think people are getting misled, because right now, after all this, kind of a so-called movement that was created with the videos and the shares, I think Max started posting on forums more. But I don't know if it was a coincidence or it was because of this new update. Because when the new update came, were so many bugs and there were so many forum threads on the bugs and suggestion, which I also can't tell if it was a result of the movement or it was just a coincidence because of the update. But he started posting a lot more, and I don't know why was it so. Um, but I think that at this point, everyone is in quarantine. I think even Max is, and most of the people have time to spend on Warmerise. People got more active in this, and this is what I think that Max got active in here. But as soon as the quarantines ends and he gets more something else to do, I don't think he's gonna keep Warmerise as a top priority like for like a half year ago he was, because he was just get offline for another 1 or 2 months, then come back online, and then there was just one point when he went to hospital, but it doesn't explain why was he inactive in the other times, because and we all know, we kind of got worried that he might be dead at some point. There was like literally no activity from his side. So I think it's because right now he's active because of the quarantine, but he won't be in the future, which is why I suggested that there should be moderators who would, not take his place, but at least give some direction to the members when he's not here.
So that last time that he was inactive very recently, he wasn't dead. He was working on other things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But he
Yeah.
wasn't here. That was the point.
Yeah. If we had a moderator, maybe that would have helped. But I don't know. So for what it's worth, I do agree. I do think that moderators would be good to have, but I don't think it's for the reasons of making the forums more active. I don't think that.
I mean,
I
if
don't
you
think we have
just
anybody who could even do that. To be honest,
I'm sure you have been. I'm sure you've been in different games. This is not the only game that you play, and this is not the community that you've been part of. You've probably had been to other forums too, and you probably would have posted on there too. Just put yourself in that place. If you post on another forum, not Warmers, some other games forum, and you don't get any reply, or you see posts that are left unreplied, what would you do? You want to post something, you want to share something, you have some trouble with something, you want to post there. What would you do at that point? You just feel that it's kind of useless, and that to even post there, because no one is even going to respond to there. If that's what I say, moderator is not significant because of the powers they have or the authorities they have. I think the status of moderator is what makes them significant, because people would know who to reach up to. If they respond, people get some attention, they get motivated to post next time if they get any trouble. And that's my whole point. That's what I think is happening, because I think moderators just it just acts like a symbol that there are people looking up to you if you need anything. They're giving attention if no one else is giving you attention. So that's my whole point.
Yeah, I think the point that I made in my video was what's stopping you from doing it now. So like, why can't people like you or people like me be on the forums right now replying to topics that haven't been responded to yet? And I think you said that it's that we absolutely can, but it's a volunteer work. We
Yeah.
wouldn't be getting anything from it basically, and we aren't obligated to keep doing it.
Yeah.
But I think that if the problem exists, then it's kind of up to us to fix it. So if we started replying to every post that needed response, if we started being moderators, because the forums have been a lot more active lately, and I do think that was as a response to your video, and I think that Max being more active was also a response to your video. So if nothing else comes out of this, you prompted a flurry of activity, and that's a good thing. But I think that before Max is going to be willing to do anything about this, I think that we need to show that we've got people in the community who are willing to do it and who can do it.
Yeah, that's also true, because at this point, I would definitely, if anyone says, and everyone else, if it comes to nominating someone, it would be probably you. But I would say at this point, we still need to show that we're active on there and doing something, which right now I don't think anyone is. So yeah, that's I don't have anything else to explain, because at this point I'm just like, most of the time I'm repeating stuff that I said before.
Mhm.
So
You said
I
one
mean,
thing in your response
yeah.
video that I loved, because I completely agree with it. I said that you have to be active before getting the job as a moderator,
Yeah.
and you were like, then explain Sal and Dog. And I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right. You are 100% right. I'm not even arguing with that. I completely.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't really, explain what your it was an appropriate answer to that, honestly, because hold up, someone is calling me.
Don't they know it's podcast time?
No, I didn't tell anyone, and it's from my house, someone from my house. Okay. So yeah, like I said, Salvavida and Dog. Even though I think that they were Salvavida was a good moderator, and Dog would have made a good moderator, but that didn't explain why they were promoted. I didn't say it because I was against them being promoted. I was just saying that that's not how Max, that's not how it works here. And that was one of the things that Erlans pointed out, that one of the things that moderators use their powers to for themselves, for to give themselves benefits to. He mentioned something about the clans, I'm sure you guys also know who he was referring to. So
No.
you don't he was basically referring to is it safe to say some names here? Is it safe if I just
Jack will cut it
I
out if you don't want it there.
Yeah, I think it might be
Whoa.
safe.
Okay,
cut
you're
it
making
out.
more work for me.
I don't get it, if I should take names or not.
Yeah,
You
go
can.
ahead. Go ahead and say it. And
Okay.
if we decide later that we don't want to do it, then
uh
I was gonna say type it in the chat
he
because
was
they can't see it.
Irlan's. We all know Irlan's had some problems with Mike Pence, who was moderator at that time, and he was referring to him because it was sometimes, I think it was the case, that he would moderators can see homepage of the clan and some other information, so I don't know exactly what, but I think they could show that you could see the discussions of the clans and something. So he was basically referring to that because Mike would sometimes use his authorities for to give himself benefit, because they had some fight or something like that. Which where I responded that that was that was a wrong selection. You cannot blame moderators. If you don't choose correct moderators, that's your fault. That's not the problem of the status. So that's pretty clear at that point, which I think happened because he chose some people. I wouldn't say. Let's just not go there. Okay, I'm just gonna say some things that I shouldn't. So let's just change the topic.
I really enjoyed being able to see clan discussions. I never did anything with it, but it was always fun to see like what kind of things they were talking.
Yeah, I mean, I think I got you to, I was testing what you could do, and asked you to post on my forums discussion, and you did once.
Yeah, I remember.
And I was just testing some other things too. That there's things that an owner and an officer can do on his clan discussions. He can change the topic name. They can edit it and they can stick it. And I wanted to ask if you could do that too, which I don't remember if you could.
I remember. It's been such a long time.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. So yeah, this is. But if we're down to concluding this topic, that because there's people that says there should be moderators and there's people that says they don't. If we get down to the conclusion, I think we should like question ourselves, which I said in the video. What's even the harm of having moderators? Let's say you don't select wrong people, which completely removes uh, that complaint of Ireland.
Mhm.
So now you select the best people, you point them at moderators. Let's say they're not even needed. What's even the harm? Which you did point out at there that maybe they would impose a lot of restrictions on there that compromise the freedom of speech. I think that's I don't think if it's that's concluding what you said there, but basically that they were enforce a lot of rules there, and people, it just won't work out. But I don't think that's there's a lot of rules on Warmerise forums. My whole point is that what's even the harm if you appoint moderators? Like, they cannot do any harm. I think if the only possible thing they can do is give benefits, even if it's very little, I think they can just give benefits. They can be a role model for people on how to, like Star said, they can be a role model for people on how to, because I know how I learned. I copied a few people. I copied you on how to, create videos. I most of the time I'm talking like you, or just, copying all the things you used to do. I copied Cod skills, what he used to do. I sometimes started also copying Salvavida. But that's it. I was inspired by you and those other people, and I just copied. And I think that's what the moderator does. They can act as a role model for people, you know. So I don't see any. No, I'm not. I'm not a
I was kidding.
copycat.
I was kidding.
If you can, if you get inspired by someone, I'm not even ashamed. Because I do copy people. I'm not ashamed of it. I was inspired by some people, and I just copied them. So
All the best
and it's
artists steal from other artists.
yeah.
So
I mean,
that makes total sense.
I mean, it's not like I copied from one person. I copied from a few people, and I just make a blend of it. So people can't say that I'm like purely copied. I created a blend of it.
Yeah.
So
That's how I wrote essays in high school.
No, it's you get inspiration from it, and you like the ideas that they've given, and so you kind of adapt them to like your own kind of thing. So it's fair, really. It's not really it's copying, but not really. Like you're just kind of
I would say it's
getting
more
close to
learning.
different ideas. Yeah, basically.
yeah, you can say learning too, but
Oh,
the
you
reason
want to
why I
say you
said
copied
copied,
Brahim?
because I did. There's a lot of things that I copied. I at this I wouldn't be here right now if I didn't copy, because sometimes, like, when I'm watching old videos, I was like, who even could tolerate me at that time? But Chrono did, and I copied, and I feel so bad for him right now that I would speak so low. My voice was just plain. It was very uncomfortable. I would speak so low. My microphone was glitching all the time, and I have no clue how he managed to tolerate me. And he even asked me to co-host with him, but it kept going on. I copied, and it's somewhat better now. So I think I'm not ashamed that I copied him. I'm actually kind of proud that I did copy him, and I'm grateful for that. So I think it's like something move forth, gives to the other people. So I think moderators can act as a role model. And they are like a symbol that the forums are being looked at. So they will give you attention when no one else would. Yeah, I've said enough in this topic.
Yeah, I think I'll say my thoughts, because I don't think I've said this specifically yet, and then if anyone else wants to chime in, they can. And then if not, we'll move on to 2.6.0.
Yeah.
So my thoughts at the end of the day are that honestly, 2020 has been kind of a crazy year, and a lot of unexpected things have happened, and I don't expect that to change at any point for the rest of time. I expect crazy things to keep happening forever, basically. So I see having moderators as an insurance policy. If something happens to Max and he's, incapacitated in the hospital for months or whatever, having a moderator on hand will be nice. Having the algorithms to help that moderator is also nice. And if you don't need that moderator, then again, what's the harm? So assuming, of course, you pick a decent moderator. So I see it as having an insurance policy. It's better to have a moderator and not need one than to need one and not have one. So that's sort of my thought.
Exactly. I think that concludes it pretty well.